So he led the campaign to expose the Post Office Horizon IT scandal, became one of the key figures in the fight for justice for hundreds of sub-postmasters.
Talking about Alan Bates, of course, and he's received a knighthood in the King's Birthday Honours for his years of tireless work. Our business correspondent Emma Simpson has been to meet him. We should warn you, this report does contain some flashing images.
Alan Bates, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was your reaction when you found out?
It was all a bit of a surprise. It was a bit out of the blue, and also the time was given. I think I received it on the lunchtime of the first day of Paul the Vanel's being at the inquiry. I have a look at my emails, and it was there. I thought, this is weird, you know.
Is this a wind-up? Yes.
And then, because to me the things I'll just say no, you know, it's easy that. And I thought, well, you know, there's a lot of people who want me to have something. And I think the paperwork said they wanted to know by end of that day whether I was prepared to accept it. So it was all a bit of a rush, but a very pleasant surprise all the same.
What does this knighthood mean for you?
Well, I think it's another string to my bow to try and drive the rest of the campaign home for the group. We've got to get the funding for everybody, and that's been my priority now for some time. And if it helps there, then great, you know, it's wonderful.
You turned down an OBE, didn't you? Why?
I turned down an OBE at that time because I felt it was inappropriate. I mean, Paul the Vanel's was holding the CBE for her services to Post Office. And I felt it would have been such an insult to the group to accept something like that. And so a lot of people applauded me for doing that at that time.
The last time we sat down and had a chat like this, the TV drama was about to air, and you spoke about how you hoped it would have an impact. It did that, didn't it? It's been an incredible 6 months.
It certainly woke the nation up to what had been going on.
Paul the Vanel's has got the CBE.
Joking.
We are fighting a war against an enemy owned by the British government, while we're just skint little people.
And they've been really supportive, and they've shown it in so many ways. I get hundreds of emails from all over the country, and letters and cards and all sorts there. And I think it's also great for individuals in the group, because it's explained what happened to them and what they've been through.
I haven't got that money, and I don't know where it's gone.
But you're not finished though, are you?
No, it's not finished by a long way. We've still got to obtain monies for the groups in there. We've got to make sure they're resolved at the end of the day. I mean, that's still causing a big problem. It's still tied up in bureaucracy, and we can't seem to get through it no matter what we do.
You still haven't got your compensation sorted, have you?
No, my compensation is not resolved yet either, and as well as fighting everyone else's battle, I'm still fighting mine as well. I just don't know. I mean, there is always a potential that we may finish up back in court if that's what it takes to resolve it at the end of the day.
I was going to say, what's the next step?
The next step, definitely for us, is to return to the courts again. And this time, I think we can raise the funding. I think the nation will support us if we have to go ahead with another case.
Have you ever thought of just giving up, letting it go?
I could never do that. Not just for my own sake, but I couldn't do it for everyone else's sake. You know, we've all seen the horror stories, or all heard the horror stories of people, and there are so many, and I keep hearing from so many more these days who are coming out the woodwork, and stories that have never been told. I mean, they're absolutely, it's diabolical what's happened to people. It's very, very sad.
You've spent, I think, more than 20 years now devoting all your time to this campaign, to fight for justice. What's been the high point? Was it that High Court victory?
I think the judgments were certainly a big turning point, and it's a comment I often take, is I think at that point we broke Post Office's control of the narrative, which they'd had for many, many years, and which they'd used to do all sorts of things, to influence MPs, to influence the media and all the rest of it. But those judgments certainly broke that, and that enabled us then to move forward.
What's been the hardest bit of it all? It's been such a long road for you.
I think the hardest thing would have been to put it down. I mean, you just couldn't put something like this down. And in fairness, it's always been one day after the next, and you never know what the following day is going to bring. But it normally brings another victim to light. And so if you needed encouragement to carry on, it's there. This is the best unpaid job I've ever had. It's certainly the longest. But
Have you had a day off?
I'm looking forward to a day off. There's a rumour I'm having a holiday shortly, so I'm looking forward to that.
How are you going to celebrate?
I don't know, probably a cup of tea, slice of cake, usual way.
Steady.
That is such a well-deserved award. Of course, like they all are. Alan Bates, slice of cake, cup of tea. Just, that's nice. What a nice way to celebrate.